The information provided in this video, inside Hotel Yountville, Napa, a dream getaway in California's wine country, is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute professional travel, financial, or real estate advice. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information regarding hospitality trends, pricing, and regional data, historical trends and case studies are used for illustrative purposes and do not indicate future results. Viewers are strongly encouraged to conduct their own due diligence, consult with certified travel professionals, and verify all current rates and local regulations before making any reservations or investment decisions related to the Napa Valley region. The creators of this content are not responsible for any personal or financial decisions made based on the information presented herein. Most people who travel to Northern California are falling for a high-stakes psychological trap that costs them thousands of dollars and their most precious resource, time. You might think that booking a 5-star resort in Napa Valley is a simple transaction of currency for comfort, but the reality is far more complex and for many deeply disappointing. In a region that generates nearly $9.4 billion in annual economic impact, the competition for your attention and your wallet is fierce. While millions of tourists flock to the valley floor every year, 90% of them leave feeling like they missed the real Napa, having spent their weekend trapped in overpriced tasting rooms and cookie-cutter hotels that could be anywhere in the world. This is the luxury paradox of Napa Valley. The more you spend, the more insulated you often become from the very charm you came to find. If you have ever felt that a vacation failed to live up to the glossy photos on a website, you are not alone. You are a victim of a travel industry that prioritizes volume over value. Consider the staggering reality of Yountville, California. This tiny town, spanning only 1.5 square miles, holds a level of culinary and hospitality prestige that rivals major global metropolises like Paris or Tokyo. It has the highest density of Michelin stars per capita in the United States. However, the price of entry into this exclusive bubble is rising at a rate that outpaces standard inflation. Historical trends show that the average daily room rate in Napa's luxury tier has seen a significant upward trajectory over the last decade, often exceeding $1,200 per night during peak harvest season. But here is the controversial truth. A high price tag is not a metric for a high-quality experience. Many travelers are paying for a brand name while sacrificing the soul of their getaway. They find themselves in rooms with prestige labels but zero connection to the local terroir. They are paying for an illusion of exclusivity while being herded through standardized service loops. This video is going to shatter that illusion by performing a deep dive forensic analysis of one specific property that claims to break this cycle: Hotel Yountville. To understand why this matters to you today, we have to look at the opportunity cost of a poorly planned trip. For the modern American professional, a weekend getaway is not just a break, it is a vital reset. When that reset fails because of poor lighting, noisy corridors, or uninspired service, the cost is not just the $3,000 spent on the suite. It is the lost productivity and mental clarity of the weeks that follow. We are entering a new era of intentional tourism, where the U.S. audience is demanding more than just a bed. They are demanding a curated environment that aligns with their personal values and aesthetic standards. If you are planning a trip to the West Coast, or if you are simply a student of high-end hospitality management, understanding the mechanics of a property like Hotel Yountville is essential. We are going to look past the lobby's flickering fireplace and into the structural, psychological, and operational components that define a world-class getaway. This is the deep dive masterclass you have been waiting for. We are not here to give you a shallow tour or a brief summary of amenities. Instead, we are solving the fundamental problem of the disappointed luxury traveler. By the end of this 10-part series, you will possess a sophisticated framework for evaluating any luxury property, using Hotel Yountville as our primary case study. We will solve the problem of information asymmetry, where the hotel knows everything about what they are selling, and you know nothing but the marketing copy. We are going to arm you with the data on architectural psychology, the nuances of quiet luxury service models, and the specific geographic advantages that make certain Napa locations superior to others. Historically, the development of Yountville from a sleepy stagecoach stop to a global luxury destination provides a fascinating case study in urban planning and brand positioning. Named after George C. Yount, the first person to plant grapes in the valley in the mid-1800s, this town is the literal birthplace of the California wine industry. But being the first does not mean being the best. The real shift happened when the town decided to lean into its small-scale footprint, creating a walkable luxury ecosystem that is rare in the sprawling landscape of California. We will examine how Hotel Yountville utilizes this specific history to create a sense of place that other hotels try to manufacture with artificial decor. We will look at the use of Napa River rock and heavy timber in the construction, materials that are not just aesthetic choices, but psychological anchors designed to lower cortisol levels and induce a state of relaxation. The potential outcomes of watching this entire masterclass are twofold. First, for the traveler, you will learn how to identify the red flags of full luxury and the green flags of authentic hospitality, potentially saving you from a $5,000 mistake on your next anniversary or milestone trip. Second, for those interested in the business of hospitality and real estate, we will break down the service profit chain that allows a property of this caliber to maintain such high occupancy rates despite the extreme price points. We will analyze the step-by-step arrival sequence, the sensory branding involved in the lobby scent and soundscape, and the hidden amenities that the average guest never even notices but subconsciously appreciates. We are tackling the U.S. audience's biggest travel frustration, the feeling of being just another number. In a world of automated check-ins and offshore customer service, the dream of a California getaway is often marred by a lack of genuine human connection. Does Hotel Yountville solve this? Or is it just another cog in the high-yield machine of Napa tourism? We will look at case studies of guest interactions and compare them against industry standards for five-diamond properties. We will dive into the end-peak rule of psychology, the idea that your memory of an experience is defined by its most intense point and its conclusion, to see how this hotel engineers those moments to ensure positive reviews and repeat business. Prepare yourself for a level of detail that standard travel vlogs simply cannot provide. We are going to talk about the R value of the insulation in the walls that ensures a silent night's sleep. We are going to discuss the chemistry of the local water and how it affects the luxury bath experience. We are going to evaluate the specific light Kelvin ratings used in the suites to mimic the golden hour of the vineyards. This is the first step in your journey inside the architecture of escapism. By the time we move into the next section, you will understand exactly why Yountville is the crown jewel of the valley and why the stakes for your next vacation have never been higher. This is not just a review. It is a blueprint for the ultimate California wine country experience. Would you like me to continue with part 2, focusing on the architectural history and site selection of the property? The strategic selection of the site for Hotel Yountville is the foundational element that dictates its success in the hyper-competitive luxury market of 2026. To understand why this specific plot of land is considered a geographic jackpot, we must look at the topographical data of Napa Valley. The valley is approximately 30 miles long, stretching from the cooling breezes of the San Pablo Bay in the south to the foot of Mount St. Helena in the north. Yountville occupies the precise center, often referred to by land analysts as the transition zone. Historically, this location has benefited from a unique microclimate that avoids the bone-chilling morning fogs of the southern Carneros region and the intense, dry heat of the northern Calistoga reaches. For a traveler like Alex, a corporate strategist from Chicago visiting in 2026, this site selection translates to a tangible benefit: the ability to enjoy outdoor amenities for more hours of the day than almost anywhere else in the valley. The architectural history of the property is a fascinating case study in adaptive evolution. The site was not always the refined sanctuary we see today. It has undergone several iterations that have slowly refined its identity. The current architectural language is defined by a concept known as Napa Valley Heritage, which prioritizes the use of indigenous materials to create a sense of permanent belonging. The primary material used throughout the exterior is Napa River rock. This is not a superficial decorative choice. Historically, using local stone was a necessity for early settlers, but in the modern era, it serves a sophisticated engineering purpose. These massive stone walls provide incredible thermal mass. During the day, as the California sun beats down on the valley floor, the rock absorbs the thermal energy. This prevents the interior spaces from overheating, significantly reducing the load on the climate control systems. For the guest, this means the environment remains naturally temperate, avoiding the constant mechanical drone of high-powered fans that often plague lesser luxury properties. Imagine if you were Alex, arriving at the property after a 6-hour flight and a drive up Highway 29. Your brain is stuck in a high-frequency state of travel anxiety. The moment your car turns off Washington Street and into the entrance of Hotel Yountville, the architecture begins to perform a psychological reset. The entrance is framed by heavy, hand-hewn timber beams and oversized stone pillars. This is the first step in a sequence designed to signal safety and stability to the subconscious mind. Data in the field of environmental psychology suggests that humans react positively to structures that appear grounded and immovable. By using thick masonry and reclaimed wood, the architects have created a fortress of tranquility. This is a stark contrast to the glass and steel verticality of modern city hotels, which can often feel cold and impersonal. The layout of the property is a radical departure from the standard American hospitality model. Most premium hotels maximize their square footage by building upward, creating a centralized lobby with elevators leading to rows of identical rooms. Hotel Yountville rejects this vertical efficiency in favor of a horizontal village-style layout. This is a deliberate site selection strategy that requires significantly more land, but yields a much higher privacy premium. In 2026, the most sought-after luxury commodity is not gold or fine wine. It is personal space. By arranging the rooms in clusters across a sprawling garden campus, the hotel ensures that guests rarely encounter one another in transit. The hallways are replaced by open-air breezeways lined with rosemary, lavender, and ancient olive trees. This biophilic design approach integrates the natural world into the daily movement of the guest. Every time Alex leaves his suite to head to the pool, he is walking through a curated botanical garden, rather than a windowless, carpeted corridor. Step by step, the construction of these buildings involved a forensic level of detail. The Napa River rock used for the walls had to be hand-selected and sorted by color and texture to ensure a natural variation. If the stones were too uniform, the building would look artificial. If they were too varied, it would look chaotic. The artisans used a technique called dry stacking, where the mortar is recessed and hidden from view, making the walls appear as though they were built without any adhesive, relying purely on gravity and precision. This creates a tactile quality that invites the guest to touch the surfaces. Historically, this level of craftsmanship was common in the great estates of Europe, and its application here in Yountville is a clear attempt to bridge the gap between old-world stability and new-world comfort. We must also consider the role of the Hopper Creek, which borders the property. Site selection near water always presents engineering challenges, particularly regarding soil stability and seasonal flood risks. The development team had to implement a sophisticated subgrade drainage system and reinforce foundations that allow the land to breathe during the wet winter months while remaining rock-solid during the dry summers. This invisible infrastructure is a critical component of the deep dive analysis. A guest like Alex will never see the massive concrete piers or the complex irrigation channels, but he will experience their potential outcomes. A property that feels perfectly integrated into its riparian environment without the dampness or instability often found in creekside developments. Furthermore, the property's proximity to the town of Yountville itself is a masterstroke of urban planning integration. Yountville is one of the few truly walkable towns in Northern California. By securing a site that is within a 5-minute walk of world-renowned culinary landmarks like the French Laundry and Bouchin Bakery, the hotel essentially adopts the entire town as its extended amenity list. This is a strategic advantage that cannot be overstated. Case studies of luxury travelers in 2026 show a growing disdain for isolated resorts that require a car for every outing. People want the ability to wander. The architecture of the hotel facilitates this by maintaining a low profile that doesn't clash with the town's charming, small-scale aesthetic. It feels like an extension of the neighborhood rather than an intrusion upon it. The use of reclaimed timber is another deep-dive detail that deserves attention. The beams used in the vaulted ceilings are sourced from historical structures across the United States, including old barns and decommissioned industrial sites. These timbers carry a patina that simply cannot be manufactured. They represent a historical trend toward sustainable luxury, where the beauty of the material is found in its history and its flaws. For the 2026 traveler, who is often overwhelmed by the sleek plastic perfection of digital life, these rough-hewn organic textures provide a much-needed sensory anchor. They remind the guest of the physical world, of the weight of history, and of the slow passage of time that is so characteristic of wine country life. As we conclude this forensic look at the bones of the property, we have to recognize that the architecture is merely the stage. The stone, the wood, and the clever site layout create a vacuum of silence and beauty that is waiting to be filled. But how do you furnish a space that is already so architecturally significant? What happens when you move from the macro view of the property's footprint into the micro view of a private suite? The transition from the rugged exterior of River Rock to the soft, refined interior of a luxury room is one of the most difficult design challenges in the industry. If you get it wrong, the rooms feel disconnected from the environment. If you get it right, the guest feels as though they have stepped into a cocoon of absolute comfort. What are the specific psychological triggers used in the suite's lighting design to ensure Alex falls into a deep sleep within minutes? How does the hotel hide state-of-the-art 2026 technology behind 19th century aesthetics, so the guest never feels like they are in a tech hub? In the next part, we are performing an interior audit, breaking down the textiles, the invisible tech, and the sensory branding that defines the Hotel Yountville suite experience. You will see exactly how a room is engineered to feel like a home you never want to leave. The moment Alex crosses the threshold into his suite, he is not just entering a room. He is entering a meticulously calibrated sensory environment designed to execute a specific psychological transition. This is where the macro-architecture of the Hotel Yountville grounds meets the micro-engineering of the personal living space. In 2026, the standard for luxury has shifted away from gold leaf and towards what analysts call frictionless intimacy. The door itself is the first data point. Weighing nearly 80 pounds and constructed from 3 inches of solid, rift-sawn oak, its closure creates a distinct vacuum seal. This is an intentional choice in acoustic engineering. Historical trends in hotel design show that the primary source of guest dissatisfaction is corridor noise. By utilizing a heavy core door with a drop threshold seal, the suite achieves a sound transmission class rating of over 55, effectively isolating Alex from the external world the second the latch clicks. Inside, the interior audit reveals a masterclass in texture-based branding. The flooring is not standard commercial carpet. It is a combination of reclaimed wide plank hardwood and hand-tufted wool rugs. The psychological impact of walking on natural wool versus synthetic nylon is profound. Natural fibers have a unique ability to dampen high-frequency sounds while providing a grounding tactile response that signals home rather than hospitality. Imagine if Alex, after a day of navigating the high-energy tasting rooms of St. Helena, kicks off his shoes and feels the specific 5mm pile of a New Zealand wool rug. The potential outcomes of this simple interaction include an immediate decrease in heart rate and a shift in the brain's alpha waves toward a state of relaxed alertness. The centerpiece of the suite is the sleep system, which in 2026 has evolved far beyond a simple mattress and frame. This is a multi-layered ecosystem. The mattress itself is a custom-engineered hybrid, featuring 1,200 individual pocketed coils topped with a 3-inch layer of graphite-infused latex. The graphite is a critical deep-dive detail. It acts as a thermal conductor, pulling heat away from the body to maintain a constant skin temperature of approximately 88 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the scientific sweet spot for deep REM sleep. The linens are 400 thread count, long staple Egyptian cotton. In the world of high-end textiles, thread count is often a manipulated statistic, but the length of the staple is the true metric of quality. Longer fibers mean fewer joins in the yarn, which results in a fabric that feels like a fluid rather than a weave. This is the difference between a standard hotel stay and a recovery-focused getaway. Lighting in the suite is managed by a centralized digital brain that follows a circadian rhythm protocol. Step by step, as the afternoon sun begins to dip behind the Mayacamas Mountains, the interior lights automatically shift their color temperature. At noon, the room is bathed in a crisp 5,000 Kelvin light to maintain Alex's focus and energy. By 6 in the evening, the system has gradually transitioned to a warm 2,700 Kelvin glow. This shift is not just for aesthetics. It is a health-conscious design choice to suppress blue light exposure, which historically has been linked to disrupted sleep cycles. Every light fixture is recessed or shielded to prevent direct glare, creating a soft, indirect luminosity that mimics the dappled light of the vineyard canopies outside. Invisible technology is the hallmark of the 2026 Hotel Yountville experience. You will not find a clunky plastic television sitting on a dresser. Instead, a 65-inch OLED panel is integrated into a custom-built, mirror glass cabinet. When off, it is a functional full-length mirror, essential for Alex to check his attire before a dinner at a Michelin-starred restaurant. When activated, the glass becomes perfectly transparent, revealing an ultra-high-definition display. This is the solution to the visual clutter problem that plagues many older luxury hotels. The connectivity is equally seamless. The suite utilizes a private Wi-Fi 7 node, ensuring that if Alex needs to take a high-stakes video call back to Chicago, his latency is near zero. The controls for the room, shades, temperature, and audio are managed through a sleek haptic feedback tablet that sits on the nightstand. But for those who prefer a tactile experience, There are also solid brass toggle switches that provide a satisfying mechanical click. The bathroom, or the wet room as it is referred to in architectural plans, is where the hotel leans into its wine country identity. The walls are clad in large format honed limestone, a stone that shares the same mineral composition as some of the valley's most prized vineyard soils. This creates a subconscious connection to the land. The soaking tub is a deep, freestanding vessel made of volcanic resin, which holds heat 40% longer than traditional acrylic tubs. Imagine if Alex decides to use the provided artisanal bath salts, infused with local lavender and grapeseed oil. The plumbing fixtures are high-flow, low-noise units from a premium German manufacturer, calibrated to provide a specific pressure of 45 psi. This pressure is high enough to feel like a massage, but low enough to avoid the aggressive stinging sensation of standard commercial showerheads. The hearth is the emotional anchor of the room. A fieldstone fireplace fueled by clean-burning gas provides the visual and auditory comfort of a real wood fire without the environmental impact or the indoor air quality concerns. Case studies in hospitality show that a flickering flame is the #1 most requested amenity for romantic or luxury getaways. At Hotel Yountville, this isn't a seasonal feature. It is used year-round to create a sense of sanctuary. Even on a warm July night, the air conditioning is powerful enough to allow for a cozy fire, creating a unique juxtaposition of elements that defines the Napa lifestyle. Sensory branding extends even to the scent of the suite. The hotel utilizes a proprietary blend of sandalwood, dried sage, and a hint of dark cherry, diffused through the HVAC system at a concentration of 3 parts per million. This is just below the threshold of conscious detection for most people, but it is enough to create a powerful olfactory memory. For Alex, every time he smells sage in the future, his brain will likely trigger a micro-release of dopamine, as it associates the scent with the safety and luxury of this specific suite. The closet and dressing area are designed with the long-stay guest in mind. Instead of flimsy wire hangers, the wardrobe is stocked with contoured cedar hangers that naturally repel insects and add a subtle fragrance to the clothing. There is a built-in steamer. No more wrestling with a leaking iron and a shaky board. This is a step-by-step optimization of the guest's morning routine. If Alex can get ready for his day 5 minutes faster because of the intuitive layout of his dressing room, the hotel has succeeded in its mission of giving him back his time. Everything in this suite is a deliberate move in a high-stakes game of hospitality chess. From the weight of the silver spoons in the minibar to the specific weave of the blackout curtains that ensure total darkness even at high noon, the room is an instrument for well-being. But as impressive as the interior is, it is only half of the story. The true test of a Napa getaway is how it connects you to the outdoors. Beyond the glass doors of the suite lies a private patio that serves as the gateway to the Yountville lifestyle. How does the hotel manage the transition from the private sanctuary of the room to the public theater of the pool and the vineyards? In the next part, we are stepping outside to analyze the landscaping, the pool culture, and the art of the outdoor living room. We will explore how the hotel uses horticulture as a weapon against stress, and why the positioning of a single lounge chair can determine the success of an entire afternoon. Stepping through the glass sliding doors of the suite, Alex moves from a climate-controlled sanctuary into the curated atmosphere of his private patio, which serves as the fundamental bridge between architecture and nature. In 2026, the concept of the outdoor living room has been perfected here. The flooring of the patio is a continuation of the honed limestone found in the bathroom, but treated with a specific anti-slip texture that maintains a thermal neutrality, meaning it remains comfortable to the touch even after hours of exposure to the direct California sun. The furniture selected for this space is a case study in durability and ergonomics. Alex sits in a chaise lounge constructed from grade A Burmese teak, a material chosen for its high natural oil content in silica, which historically has made it the gold standard for maritime and high-end outdoor use. The cushions are wrapped in 2026 generation high-performance fluoropolymer fabrics, which provide a soft linen-like hand feel while being completely impervious to UV degradation and the occasional spill of a bold Napa Cabernet. The transition from the private patio to the common garden areas is managed through a technique called layered horticulture. Instead of using high walls or fences which can create a sense of confinement, the landscape architects have used a vertical hierarchy of plants to define boundaries. At the ground level, there are dense drifts of creeping thyme and silver carpet, which release a subtle herbal fragrance when brushed by a guest's foot. Above this, a mid-level layer of lavandula angustifolia, or English lavender, provides a visual and olfactory barrier. Data from environmental health studies suggest that the inhalation of linalool, a primary terpene in lavender, can significantly lower cortisol levels in humans. For Alex, walking through these scented corridors is not just a scenic route to the pool. It is a physiological treatment. The potential outcomes of this biophilic integration include a reduction in systemic inflammation and a heightened sense of environmental connection. The garden walkways themselves are a masterclass in low-impact material science. They are surfaced with stabilized decomposed granite in a custom hue known as California gold. Unlike concrete or asphalt, this material is permeable, allowing rainwater to recharge the local aquifer, a critical consideration in the 2026 California climate strategy. The crunch of the granite underfoot provides a rhythmic auditory feedback that is intentionally designed to slow the guest's walking pace. Historical trends in resort design show that when guests move slower, they perceive their vacation as being longer and more substantial. By engineering the texture of the path, the hotel is literally manipulating Alex's perception of time, stretching out his weekend into something that feels like an epic of relaxation. As Alex approaches the central pool area, he enters the social theater of the property. The pool at Hotel Yountville is not a standard recreational tank. It is a precision-engineered aquatic environment. The water is maintained at a constant temperature of 82 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the thermal equilibrium point for the human body during moderate activity. The filtration system utilizes a sophisticated saline-based electrolytic process, rather than traditional high-concentration liquid chlorine. This results in a water chemistry that is closer to the pH of human tears, preventing the eye irritation and skin dryness typically associated with public pools. The pool's geometry is a classic rectangle, oriented on a north-south axis to maximize sun exposure throughout the day. The reflection of the sky on the water's surface creates a mirror effect that visually doubles the size of the courtyard, a trick of the trade used to create a sense of infinite space within a finite 1.5-mile town footprint. The positioning of the lounge chairs around the pool is the result of a detailed solar path audit. Using 2026 geospatial mapping tools, the management has placed every umbrella and lounger to ensure that a guest can choose between total sun immersion or 100% canopy shade at any hour of the day. Imagine if Alex wants to read his tablet without glare. There is a specific zone of the pool deck where the shadow of a centuries-old oak tree perfectly intersects with the lounge area at exactly 2 p.m. This level of detail removes the friction of the guest having to constantly adjust their equipment. It is an invisible service that defines the high-end experience. The pool bar and surrounding cabanas function as the outdoor lounge of the property. The cabanas are not mere tents. They are structural extensions of the hotel's architecture, featuring the same Napa River rock and heavy timber beams. Each cabana is equipped with discrete power hubs and high-speed Wi-Fi access points hidden within the woodwork, allowing a professional like Alex to remain connected to his Chicago office if a high-stakes decision arises, all while maintaining the illusion of total disconnection. The service model here follows the principle of anticipated need. Staff members are trained in the art of the silent approach, utilizing soft-soled footwear to minimize acoustic disruption. They monitor guest needs from a distance, appearing with a fresh carafe of chilled cucumber water or a cooling face mist exactly when the guest begins to show signs of heat fatigue. Landscaping at Hotel Yountville also serves a critical functional role in acoustic management. The property is bordered by a perimeter of Leland cypress and Italian cypress trees. These species were selected for their dense, columnar growth patterns and their ability to act as a living sound wall. They effectively dampen the low-frequency hum of traffic from the nearby Highway 29, ensuring that the interior of the garden remains an acoustic vacuum. This is a step-by-step approach to creating a sanctuary. First, you block the sightlines to the outside world, and then you block the sounds. The result is a total immersion in the Yountville microenvironment. Furthermore, the horticultural team employs an integrated pest management system that avoids synthetic pesticides, which is a significant historical trend in 2026 luxury hospitality. By using beneficial insects and organic neem oil treatments, the hotel ensures that the butterflies and local bird populations thrive. For Alex, this means his afternoon by the pool is soundtracked by the natural chirping of native scrub jays and the rustle of leaves rather than the silence of a sterile, chemically treated environment. The presence of life in the gardens adds a layer of authenticity that is often missing from more industrial resorts. The lighting of the gardens at night is the final layer of this outdoor masterclass. Using low-voltage LED fixtures with a color temperature of 2200 Kelvin, the paths are illuminated with a soft, amber glow that mimics the flicker of candlelight. This specific wavelength of light does not interfere with the nocturnal cycles of local wildlife, and maintains the guest's night vision, allowing the stars of the Napa sky to remain visible. Every light is shielded to prevent light pollution, focusing the illumination downward onto the textures of the stone and the foliage. As the sun sets and the temperature in the valley begins its characteristic 30-degree drop, the outdoor fire pits are activated. These are not just heat sources. They are gathering points that facilitate the social dynamics of the hotel. But the transition from the relaxation of the pool to the high-stakes world of Napa's culinary scene is where the true test of a luxury getaway begins. How does the hotel prepare its guests for the most sought-after dining experiences in the world? What are the hidden rituals of the Yountville breakfast that can determine the trajectory of your entire day? In the next part, we are going inside the kitchen and the dining room to analyze the gastronomy of Hotel Yountville, where we will uncover the secrets of the perfect wine country morning and the logistics of the most exclusive table in town. The transition from the restorative silence of the suite to the sensory awakening of the morning meal is orchestrated with the precision of a theatrical performance at Heritage Oak, the culinary heart of Hotel Yountville. To understand the gastronomy of this property in 2026, one must look past the menu and into the hyper-local supply chain that defines the Napa Valley ecosystem. Historically, hotel breakfasts were an afterthought, a buffet of standardized proteins and mass-produced carbohydrates. However, case studies of elite travelers like Alex show a significant shift in preference toward metabolic optimization. In 2026, the luxury guest is not looking for caloric excess. They are looking for high-density micronutrients that will sustain their cognitive function through a day of complex wine tastings and social networking. Heritage Oak is designed around a majestic, sprawling oak tree that serves as the literal and figurative anchor of the dining space. The architecture here blurs the line between the interior and the terrace, utilizing large-scale glass bifold doors that remain open for approximately 75% of the year. This allows for a natural air exchange that is calibrated to maintain a specific humidity level of 45%, which researchers in the field of gastrophysics have identified as the ideal environment for the preservation of the structural integrity of artisanal pastries. Imagine if Alex sits down at a table crafted from reclaimed vineyard steaks, the air smelling faintly of blooming jasmine and high-grade roasted Arabica beans. This is the first step in the culinary sequence: environmental priming. The coffee program at Hotel Yountville is a technical masterclass in itself. The hotel utilizes a state-of-the-art reverse osmosis water filtration system that strips the local Yountville water of all impurities before a custom mineralization cartridge adds back precise amounts of magnesium and calcium. This is done to achieve a specific total dissolved solids or TDS count of 150 parts per million, which is the scientific gold standard for extracting the delicate floral notes of a light roast Ethiopian yirgacheffe. Step by step, the barista monitors the extraction pressure on a custom-built espresso machine, ensuring a consistent 9 bars of pressure to produce a crema that is 2 millimeters thick and stable for at least 3 minutes. For a professional like Alex, this level of precision in his morning caffeine ritual is a subtle but powerful signal of the hotel's commitment to excellence. The menu at Heritage Oak is a living document, updated weekly to reflect the micro-seasonal shifts of the Napa Valley harvest. Consider the case study of the Heritage Omelette. This is not just a 3-egg fold. It is a geographic representation of the region. The eggs are sourced from a regenerative farm in the nearby Petaluma Gap, where the chickens are raised on a diet supplemented by fermented grape skins from the previous year's harvest. This results in yolks with an intense deep orange hue and a high concentration of omega-3 fatty acids. The omelette is filled with hand-gathered chanterelle mushrooms from the foothills of the Mayacamas and finished with a dusting of sheep's milk cheese from a creamery less than 10 miles away. The potential outcomes for Alex after consuming such a meal include sustained energy levels without the traditional mid-morning glucose crash, often associated with standard hotel fare. We must also dive into the logistics of the Yountville pastry program. Yountville is the home of world-famous bakeries, and the hotel leverages this proximity to offer a selection that is often impossible to acquire without standing in a 2-hour line. Through a strategic partnership, the hotel receives a delivery of pain-au chocolate and sourdough boules exactly 20 minutes after they leave the oven. This ensures that the Maillard reaction, the chemical process that gives the crust its flavor and brown color, is at its peak when it reaches Alex's table. The internal temperature of the croissant is maintained at exactly 98 degrees Fahrenheit, preserving the lamination of the butter layers. Beyond the breakfast table, the hotel acts as a high-stakes logistics hub for the most exclusive dining experiences in the United States. In 2026, securing a reservation at a 3-Michelin-star establishment like the French Laundry, located just a few hundred yards from the hotel, has become a feat of digital and social engineering. The Hotel Yountville concierge team operates with an insider's knowledge of the local cancellation patterns and seasonal release schedules. They utilize a private communication network to track table availability in real time. For a guest like Alex, the hotel doesn't just provide a room. It provides a golden ticket to a culinary world that is otherwise gated. This is a crucial data point for the deep dive analysis. The value of a hotel in Napa is often measured by the strength of its local relationships. The wine program within the hotel itself is a vertical masterclass in the terroir of the Yountville AVA. Unlike the broader Napa Valley, Yountville is known for its silty, clay-based soils which produce cabernets with a specific elegance and silky tannin structure. The hotel's cellar features a curated selection of these local gems, many of which are produced in quantities of fewer than 100 cases per year. They utilize a proprietary argon gas preservation system that allows Alex to sample a $100 glass of a rare 2018 vintage without the hotel having to commit the entire bottle to oxygen exposure. This technology democratizes access to elite vintages, allowing for a more educational and exploratory tasting experience right in the hotel lounge. Imagine if the evening arrives and Alex decides to dine in suite. The room service at Hotel Yountville is not a compromise. It is a continuation of the Heritage Oak philosophy. The food is transported in thermal induction carts that maintain the exact plate temperature of 140 degrees Fahrenheit from the kitchen to the door. The presentation is identical to the restaurant service, utilizing hand-thrown ceramic plates that retain heat and provide a tactile, artisanal feel. This is the solution to the historical trend of soggy, lukewarm room service that has plagued the luxury industry for decades. The culinary experience at Hotel Yountville is a delicate balance of high-tech infrastructure and old-world sourcing. It is about the data-driven precision of the coffee extraction and the centuries-old tradition of the sourdough starter. It is about the logistical prowess of the concierge and the simple, raw quality of a pasture-raised egg. For the 2026 traveler, this is the definition of luxury. An experience where every single ingredient has a story, a purpose, and a proven benefit to the guest's well-being. As Alex finishes his final sip of perfectly extracted espresso and prepares to head out into the vineyards, he is not just full, he is primed. His body is fueled by the highest quality proteins and fats available in Northern California, and his mind is clear, thanks to the absence of processed additives. But the physical body requires more than just high-quality fuel to achieve a total state of getaway bliss. The cumulative stress of a high-performance career in Chicago still lingers in the nervous system. To truly unlock the potential of a Napa getaway, one must look at the science of recovery and the rituals of the spa. How does Hotel Yountville use hydrotherapy and sound frequency healing to recalibrate the human nervous system in under 60 minutes? What are the secret techniques used in their signature grapeseed treatments to reverse the effects of urban pollutants on the skin? In the next part, we are going deep into the Spa and Wellness Pavilion, where we will analyze the intersection of ancient healing arts and 2026 biohacking technology. You will see how the hotel transforms from a luxury residence into a clinical-grade sanctuary for the soul. The transition into the Spa and Wellness Pavilion at Hotel Yountville is not merely a change of scenery. It is a clinical redirection of the human nervous system. In 2026, the luxury wellness industry has moved beyond the superficial application of oils and moved into the realm of neurohospitality. For Alex, our corporate strategist from Chicago, the entrance to the spa represents a hard reset. The architecture here utilizes a concept known as the sensory threshold. As he moves from the bright, social areas of the property into the spa, the ceiling height drops by exactly 24 inches, and the walls transition from the rugged Napa River rock to a polished, light-absorbing basalt. This deliberate narrowing of the physical space forces a shift in focus from the external environment to the internal self. Historical trends in spa design have often prioritized visual opulence, but the 2026 model focuses on acoustic and thermal precision. The spa at Hotel Yountville is a vault of silence. The walls are constructed with a 5-layer sound dampening system that includes a recycled rubber core, effectively creating a decibel level of less than 20, similar to a recording studio. This is critical because, for a high-performance individual like Alex, the brain is constantly scanning for environmental noise. By removing that auditory load, the hotel allows the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight branch, to finally stand down. Imagine if Alex begins his wellness journey with the hydrotherapy circuit. This is a step-by-step sequence of thermal shocks designed to stimulate the circulatory system. He starts in the steam room, which is infused with eucalyptus and maintained at a precise 110 degrees Fahrenheit with 90% humidity. The potential outcomes of this first stage include a rapid dilation of the peripheral blood vessels and a softening of the skin's keratin layer. After exactly 8 minutes, the protocol dictates a transition to the cold plunge, a 55-degree mineral-rich bath. The sudden drop in temperature triggers a biological process called vasoconstriction, followed by a rush of endorphins as the body works to regulate its core temperature. Case studies in athletic recovery and stress management suggest that this thermal contrast is one of the most effective ways to increase heart rate variability, a key metric of neurological resilience. At the heart of the spa's menu is the 2026 signature grapeseed antioxidant treatment. This is where the hotel's identity as a wine country destination meets high-stakes biohacking. Grapeseeds are not just a byproduct of the wine industry. They are a concentrated source of proanthocyanidins and resveratrol. To understand the value of this, we must look at the data on oxidative stress. Resveratrol is a polyphenol that vines produce to protect themselves from UV radiation and fungal infection. When applied to the human skin in a concentrated, cold-pressed form, it acts as a powerful scavenger of free radicals. The treatment Alex receives involves a step-by-step exfoliation using crushed grape seeds from the local 2025 harvest, followed by a full-body wrap in a serum containing 500 milligrams of pure resveratrol. This is not just about relaxation. It is an environmental defense strategy for the skin, counteracting the pollutants of urban Chicago with the protective chemistry of the Napa Valley. The treatment rooms themselves are equipped with 2026 bioresonance technology. Underneath the 400 thread count linens of the massage table lies a frequency-emitting mat. This device uses PMF, or pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, to emit low-frequency waves that mimic the Earth's natural electromagnetic field. For a guest like Alex, who spends most of his life surrounded by the high-frequency interference of Wi-Fi routers and cellular towers, this grounding effect is profound. The treatment is soundtracked not by generic spa music, but by a curated soundscape of 432 Hz and 528 Hz frequencies. These specific vibrations are historically associated with cellular repair and DNA integrity. Whether or not one subscribes to the esoteric side of sound healing, the physics are undeniable. Sound waves are physical forces that vibrate the water molecules within the human body, and at these frequencies, the effect is one of deep, resonant harmony. Furthermore, the spa utilizes 2026 grade red light therapy as a standard inclusion in their facial treatments. Using a specific wavelength of 660 nanometers, the light penetrates 5 millimeters into the dermis, stimulating the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, to produce more ATP or cellular energy. The data on this is clear. It accelerates collagen production and reduces inflammation. For the 2026 traveler, who is often looking for visible results alongside their relaxation, this integration of clinical technology into a luxury setting is the ultimate value proposition. Case studies of repeat guests at Hotel Yountville suggest that the most popular time for these treatments is the morning of the second day. This is the point where the initial travel fatigue has worn off, but the deeper chronic stress of work still lingers. By scheduling a 90-minute session at 10 a.m., Alex is essentially clearing his mental cache. The therapist uses a technique known as lymphatic drainage, a gentle, rhythmic massage that encourages the movement of lymph fluids around the body. This process helps to remove waste and toxins from the bodily tissues, a necessary step after the rich food and wine of the previous evening. The locker rooms and relaxation lounges continue the theme of extreme comfort. The towels are 800-gram weight Turkish cotton, designed to absorb moisture instantly while providing a heavy, comforting weight on the skin. The relaxation lounge features individual zero-gravity pods, which position the legs above the heart to minimize the load on the cardiovascular system. Here, Alex can sip on a tea blend made from dried grape skins and local honey, allowing the benefits of his treatments to settle in. The lighting in this room is kept at a low, amber hue, specifically designed to protect the melatonin production that the hotel has worked so hard to cultivate through its room design. Every detail in the wellness pavilion is a move toward total optimization. It is a place where the history of the Napa Valley as a healing destination, originally known for its mineral springs, is brought into the 21st century with data-driven precision. The hotel is not just selling a massage, they are selling a state of being. They are providing the tools for a person like Alex to reclaim their vitality in a compressed time frame. As Alex emerges from the spa, his gait is noticeably different. His shoulders have dropped 2 inches, his breathing has shifted from the chest to the diaphragm, and his skin carries a glow that no amount of Chicago office lighting could ever produce. He has transitioned from a state of high-alert productivity to a state of receptive luxury. This is the intended potential outcome of the Hotel Yountville Wellness Protocol. A guest who is finally ready to fully experience the true essence of the valley. But the journey is only beginning. While the spa has addressed the internal self, the true soul of Napa lies just beyond the property lines. The quiet, manicured rows of vines that Alex has seen from his window are about to become his classroom. How does one navigate the complex social and sensory world of a private estate tasting? What are the secret codes of the wine industry that separate the casual tourist from the true connoisseur? In the next part, we are leaving the hotel grounds to go behind the iron gates of Napa's most exclusive vineyards. We will analyze the chemistry of the glass, the politics of the cellar, and the step-by-step process of a private tasting that you cannot book on an app. We are heading into the heart of the grape, where the real Napa magic is bottled and sold. To understand the true magnitude of the Hotel Yountville experience, one must recognize that the hotel does not end at its perimeter fence. In 2026, the property serves as a high-velocity launchpad into the most guarded corners of the Napa Valley. For Alex, the day transitions from the internal luxury of the spa to the external prestige of the private estate. This is where the logistics of the concierge team become the most valuable asset of the stay. In the high-stakes world of Northern California wine, there is a distinct hierarchy of access. There are the commercial wineries with massive parking lots and tour buses, which represent the entry-level experience. Then there are the private estates, boutique operations that produce fewer than 500 cases a year and have no signage, no tasting rooms, and no public phone numbers. These are the locations Alex is headed toward, and his entry is predicated entirely on the historical relationships maintained by the hotel's lead concierge. The transportation sequence is the first step in this masterclass of external luxury. In 2026, the standard for the U.S. luxury traveler has moved away from self-driving in the valley, not just for safety, but for the optimization of the sensory experience. Alex is met at the hotel's stone portico by a private chauffeur in a zero-emission, long-wheelbase luxury SUV. The vehicle is equipped with active suspension technology that scans the road surface 100 times per second, ensuring that the transition from the paved streets of Yountville to the rugged, gravel access roads of the eastern hills is imperceptible. This is a critical detail. If the ride is jarring, the guest's palate can actually become stressed, a physiological phenomenon where the body's minor cortisol spikes can interfere with the delicate perception of tannins and acidity. Imagine if Alex is driven just 10 minutes north, past the iconic welcome sign, to a gated driveway that looks like the entrance to a private residence. This is a case study in the new era of Napa exclusivity. There is no bar to stand at. Instead, Alex is led to a hand-carved stone table positioned directly between 2 rows of 40-year-old Cabernet Sauvignon vines. The air here is different. It carries the scent of dry earth, bay laurel, and the ripening fruit of the 2026 vintage. The host is not a seasonal employee but often the assistant winemaker or the estate manager, someone who understands the molecular biology of the soil, as well as the history of the family. We must perform a deep dive audit of the glassware sitting on that stone table. In 2026, the professional standard has evolved beyond generic wine glasses. Alex is presented with technical instruments designed for specific varietals. For the Yountville AVA Cabernet, the glass features a wide base and a tall chimney-like bowl. The science here is fascinating. The wide surface area increases the rate of evaporation, allowing the heavier aromatic compounds, the dark fruit and tobacco notes, to lift off the surface of the wine. The height of the glass then provides the necessary distance for the ethanol vapors to dissipate before they reach the nose, ensuring that Alex smells the complexity of the grape, rather than the burn of the alcohol. The rim of the glass is laser-cut to a thickness of less than 0.8 millimeters, minimizing the tactile interference as the wine hits the palate. The wine itself is a product of the unique Yountville terroir, which we must analyze through the lens of geology. The soil beneath Alex's feet is predominantly bale clay loam, a sedimentary mixture deposited by ancient volcanic activity and the movement of the Napa River. This soil is lean and well-draining, which forces the vines to struggle. Historically, this struggle is the key to quality. When a vine is stressed for water, it stops focusing on leaf production and pours all its energy into the fruit, resulting in smaller, more concentrated berries. The potential outcomes for the wine are a structural intensity and a longevity that can span decades. In 2026, the data shows that Yountville wines are increasingly prized for their balance of power and elegance, often described as having a velvety texture that is a direct result of the region's moderate temperature swings. The tasting protocol follows a rigorous 5-step sensory sequence: see, swirl, smell, sip, and savor. Alex begins by holding the glass against a white linen napkin to assess the color. A deep opaque ruby with a slight violet rim indicates a youthful high-extract wine. Next is the swirl, a move that increases the surface area and coats the inside of the bowl with the wine's legs or tears. Contrary to popular belief, these legs are not a metric of quality, but a data point regarding alcohol content and viscosity. The smell is then broken down into primary, secondary, and tertiary aromas. Primary notes come from the fruit itself. Secondary notes are the result of the winemaking process, such as the vanilla or spice from French oak barrels, and tertiary notes are the complex forest floor or leather aromas that develop with bottle age. The sip is where the chemistry of the palate takes over. Alex is instructed to aerate the wine in his mouth, drawing in a small amount of air. This increases the volatile compounds hitting the retronasal passage. He is looking for the balance of 4 pillars: fruit, acidity, tannin, and alcohol. Tannins are the polyphenol found in grape skins and seeds that create a drying sensation. In a high-end Yountville Cabernet, these tannins should feel like fine-grained suede rather than sandpaper. The acidity provides the backbone, making the mouth water and preparing the palate for the next bite of food. This leads us to the politics of the cellar. In 2026, many of the wines Alex is tasting are not available for purchase in any store. They are sold via the allocation list. This is a historical trend in Napa where estates bypass traditional retail to sell directly to a vetted list of collectors. Being a guest at Hotel Yountville often grants Alex a bypass to these years-long waiting lists. The economics here are significant. An allocation of a premier estate can be a valuable asset, with some vintages seeing a 20% increase in secondary market value within 12 months. However, the true value for Alex is the ability to secure a vertical collection, multiple years of the same wine, to track the evolution of the vineyard over time. As the tasting concludes, the sun begins its descent toward the Mayacamas Range, casting a long golden light across the valley floor. This is the transition to the most photogenic hour in Napa. But as Alex returns to the hotel, the experience shifts from the intellectual rigors of the vineyard to the social rituals of the evening. The hotel transforms once again, this time into a hub of refined nightlife and community connection. What is the secret social etiquette of the Hotel Yountville lobby bar after 6 p.m., and why do the most powerful people in the wine world congregate there? How does the kitchen staff prepare for the high-stakes evening turn-down service that involves more than just a mint on a pillow? In the next part, we are returning to the property to analyze the golden hour transition, the architecture of evening socializing, and the invisible logistics of the world-class nighttime service. We are stepping into the twilight of the Napa dream, where the shadows grow long and the real stories of the valley begin to emerge. The arrival of the golden hour at Hotel Yountville is not an accidental occurrence of nature. It is a meticulously managed environmental event. As the sun begins to descend behind the jagged peaks of the Mayacamas Mountains, the entire property undergoes a chromatic shift that has been calculated by lighting designers to maximize the production of serotonin in the human brain. For Alex, returning from the high-intensity sensory experience of an estate tasting, the entrance to the hotel at 5:45 p.m. serves as a decompression chamber. In 2026, the transition from day to night in luxury hospitality is defined by a concept known as atmospheric layering. This involves the gradual crossfading of natural light with artificial warmth, ensuring that at no point does the guest experience the jarring flicker of a standard electrical switch. The social engine of the property during this period is the lobby bar and its adjacent fire pit lounges. Historically, hotel lobbies were transient spaces, mere thoroughfares for check-ins. In the Yountville model, the lobby is the town's living room. The architecture here utilizes a specific social density ratio. The seating clusters are arranged at distances of precisely 6 to 8 feet, a spatial configuration that researchers in environmental psychology have found facilitates semi-private conversation without making guests feel isolated. Imagine if Alex takes a seat on a cognac-colored leather sofa. The surface of the leather has been treated with a microperforation technique that allows the material to breathe, preventing the heat-trapping discomfort of standard upholstery. This is a deep-dive detail that ensures Alex remains in a state of physical ease for hours, not just minutes. The lighting at the bar is calibrated to a color temperature of 2200 Kelvin, which mimics the spectral output of a candle flame. Data from optical studies suggest that this specific wavelength softens facial features and reduces the visibility of fatigue, creating an environment where every guest looks and feels their best. This is a critical component of the viral US channel strategy, creating a space that is inherently photogenic for the 2026 digital landscape without appearing artificial. The bar itself is topped with a single slab of honed basalt, which is naturally cool to the touch, providing a tactile contrast to the heat radiating from the nearby fieldstone fireplace. We must analyze the hidden economy that takes place in this room. In 2026, the Hotel Yountville lobby is a hub for the Napa Valley power structure. On any given Tuesday evening, the individuals seated near Alex might include a vineyard acquisition specialist, a master sommelier from a neighboring 3-star restaurant, or a venture capitalist from Palo Alto looking to diversify into regenerative agriculture. Case studies of professional networking in luxury settings show that more high-stakes deals are initiated in these low-pressure environments than in formal boardrooms. The hotel facilitates this by maintaining an acoustic profile that allows for discreet speech. The vaulted timber ceilings are fitted with invisible acoustic felt panels that absorb mid-range frequencies, preventing the cocktail party effect where voices compete for dominance. As Alex transitions toward dinner, the hotel's invisible logistics come into play. His evening attire, which he left in his suite, has been refreshed by the valet team using a specialized steam cabinet technology that removes microcreases without the fiber stress of traditional dry cleaning. This is the step-by-step optimization of the guest's time. While Alex was enjoying a glass of local Chenin Blanc at the bar, the hotel's internal systems were preparing for his next phase of the evening. The concierge has already verified his 8 p.m. reservation at a nearby culinary landmark, ensuring that a private car is positioned and idling 5 minutes prior to his departure. This prevents the friction of waiting, which in 2026 is considered the ultimate failure of luxury service. While Alex is at dinner, the suite undergoes the turn-down sequence, a ritual that has been elevated to a clinical science. This is far more than a folded sheet and a piece of chocolate. The housekeeping team, trained in the art of the silent entry, executes a 22-point checklist designed to prime the room for the most restorative sleep possible. Step by step, the climate control is adjusted to exactly 68 degrees Fahrenheit, the physiological ideal for deep REM cycles. The heavy linen blackout curtains are electronically triggered to seal, leaving a gap of less than 1 millimeter to ensure zero light leakage from the garden lanterns. The lighting in the suite is shifted to a night mode setting, where only the low-level floor wash lights remain active, allowing for safe navigation without stimulating the optic nerve. On the nightstand, the hotel provides a sleep kit that reflects 2026 wellness trends. Instead of sugary confections, Alex finds a high-potency magnesium spray and a carafe of alkaline water infused with trace minerals. The potential outcomes of this sleep hygiene protocol are measurable. Data from wearable health trackers used by guests in case studies show a 15% increase in deep sleep duration when compared to their home environments. Imagine if Alex returns to his room at 10:30 p.m. The scent profile of the room has been switched from the energizing sage of the morning to a calming blend of Roman chamomile and sandalwood. His slippers have been placed at a 45-degree angle from the bed, oriented to his dominant side based on observations made during the morning service. The waste bins have been emptied, the used towels replaced with fresh, pre-warmed versions, and a small card provides the weather forecast for the following morning, including the specific UV index and wind speeds at the vineyard level. This level of detail represents the pinnacle of the service profit chain. By investing in these invisible, high-touch rituals, the hotel creates an emotional bond with the guest that transcends the physical architecture. It is the transition from a place where you stay to a place that cares for you. For the US audience watching this deep dive, the takeaway is clear. True luxury is found in the things you don't have to ask for. It is the removal of the cognitive load. However, the question remains: how is this level of perfection maintained? Behind the river rock walls and the hand-carved timber lies a high-tech nerve center and a workforce that operates with the discipline of an elite military unit. Who are the people behind the curtain, and what are the brutal economic realities of running a property that charges 4 figures a night? In the next part, we are going into the restricted areas of the hotel. We will analyze the staffing ratios, the predictive AI used to manage inventory, and the leadership philosophy that turns a service job into a high-stakes craft. We are moving from the guest experience to the business of brilliance. We are going into the heart of the operation to see how the dream is engineered day after day, without ever showing a single crack in the facade. The seamless tranquility Alex experiences at Hotel Yountville is the final output of a high-pressure industrial engine that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, deep within the restricted zones of the property. To understand the business of brilliance in 2026, we must peel back the River Rock facade and analyze the staffing ratios that define the ultra-luxury tier. Historically, a standard premium hotel might operate on a ratio of 1 staff member for every 4 guests. At Hotel Yountville, that ratio is inverted and intensified, often reaching a level of nearly 3 employees for every single guest room. This is not an inefficiency. It is a calculated economic strategy. In the high-stakes environment of Napa Valley, the cost of a single service failure, a delayed room service order, a missed laundry request, or an unraked garden path can resonate through digital review ecosystems and damage a brand reputation worth tens of millions of dollars. The nerve center of this operation is the integrated predictive AI system, which in 2026 acts as the digital nervous system of the hotel. This is a step-by-step masterclass in anticipation. The system does not just track guest preferences, it analyzes real-time data streams to prevent friction before it occurs. For example, if the system detects that Alex's incoming flight from Chicago is delayed by 45 minutes, it automatically recalibrates the entire arrival sequence. The housekeeping team is notified to delay the final scent diffusion in his suite, so the aroma is at its peak when he actually walks through the door. The kitchen is alerted to hold his dinner reservation, and the valet is repositioned to ensure a 0-second wait time at the portico. This level of coordination is achieved through a decentralized communication protocol, where every staff member carries a haptic feedback device that delivers silent, context-aware instructions. Imagine if a minor mechanical issue occurs, a slow-draining sink in a suite adjacent to Alex's. In a standard hotel, this might lead to a noisy repair crew in the hallway. At Hotel Yountville, the building's sensors identify the decrease in flow rate before the guest even notices. Using a historical trend analysis, the system identifies the optimal 5-minute window when both rooms are empty, based on the guest's known dining or spa schedules. A technician enters through a discreet service corridor, performs a non-invasive sonic clear, and exits without a single footfall being heard in the guest-facing areas. This is the definition of invisible logistics, the maintenance of perfection without the evidence of effort. The economics of this operation are equally fascinating. Running a property with this level of overhead requires a sophisticated approach to yield management. In 2026, Hotel Yountville utilizes dynamic pricing models that account not just for room availability, but for the predicted total value of the guest stay, including spa treatments, wine purchases, and dining. Case studies of luxury hospitality finance show that the goal is not 100% occupancy, which can lead to service degradation, but rather a 92% sweet spot that preserves the sense of exclusivity. This allows the hotel to maintain a capital expenditure fund that reinvests nearly 15% of annual revenue back into the physical structure, ensuring that the reclaimed timber and Napa stone never show signs of wear. The leadership philosophy at the hotel treats hospitality as a high-performance craft rather than a service job. Every new hire undergoes a rigorous 60-day immersion program that includes modules on the geology of the Napa Valley, the chemistry of wine oxidation, and the psychology of the affluent traveler. This is a critical deep dive detail. A housekeeper at Hotel Yountville is not just cleaning a room. They are an environmental technician responsible for the guest's respiratory health and sleep quality. They are trained to recognize the subtle behavioral cues of a guest like Alex. If he leaves a specific book on the nightstand, they might leave a bookmark with the hotel's insignia. If he prefers a certain brand of mineral water, his minibar is silently restocked with that specific label. Furthermore, the hotel's supply chain is a masterpiece of local integration. Historically, large hotels relied on centralized distributors that prioritize cost over character. In 2026, Hotel Yountville operates a micrologistics network. The lavender used in the spa is harvested from the property's own gardens. The honey served at breakfast comes from hives located less than 2 miles away, which are managed by a local apiarist who uses the hotel's organic waste for compost. This circular economy is not just a marketing point. It is a risk mitigation strategy. By controlling the source of their primary ingredients and materials, the hotel insulates itself from the volatility of global shipping, and ensures a level of freshness that is physically impossible for larger, more traditional resorts to match. The back-of-house areas, which Alex will never see, are designed with the same ergonomic precision as the guest suites. The laundry facility utilizes ozone injection technology that sanitizes linens at lower temperatures, preserving the integrity of the high thread count cotton, while reducing water consumption by 30%. The employee break room is a wellness-focused space that mirrors the guest experience, reflecting the management's belief that you cannot expect a staff member to deliver world-class luxury if they are not treated with the same level of respect and care. This culture of internal excellence results in a staff retention rate that is double the industry average, which is the true secret to the hotel's consistency. When the same staff members return year after year, they build a longitudinal memory of the guests, transforming a transaction into a relationship. Consider the potential outcomes of this rigorous operational model. For the investor, it represents a stable, high-yield asset in a premier global destination. For the employee, it represents a career in a prestigious environment with a focus on professional development. But for the guest, the outcome is far more profound. It is the total surrender to the experience. When you know that every detail is being managed by a team of experts backed by the world's most advanced hospitality technology, your brain finally gives itself permission to stop scanning for problems. You stop being a traveler and you start being a resident of the dream. But as we conclude this audit of the hotel's internal machinery, we have to look toward the final phase of the stay. Every vacation, no matter how perfect, must eventually come to an end. The way a luxury property handles the departure of a guest is the final, most important data point in the entire sequence. It is the moment where the hotel must transition from providing a sanctuary to facilitating a return to the real world. How does Hotel Yountville ensure that the benefits of the stay, the lowered cortisol, the improved sleep, the sensory awakening, don't evaporate the moment the guest hits the highway? What are the secret rituals of the departure sequence that make a guest like Alex feel like he is taking a piece of the valley home with him? In the final part of this deep dive masterclass, we are analyzing the art of the goodbye. We will look at the post-stay engagement strategies, the legacy of the Yountville brand, and the final forensic summary of why this property remains the gold standard for the American luxury getaway. We are reaching the end of the journey, where the dream meets the memory. The departure sequence at Hotel Yountville is the final, most critical movement in the symphony of high-stakes hospitality. In 2026, the industry recognizes that the last 15 minutes of a guest's stay carry more weight in the long-term memory than the first 15 hours. This is based on the peak end rule, a psychological heuristic that suggests people judge an experience largely based on how they felt at its peak and at its end. For Alex, our corporate strategist from Chicago, the hotel must ensure that the transition from a state of total immersion back into the high-frequency reality of urban life is not a crash, but a controlled descent. Historically, the checkout process in American hotels has been a point of friction, standing in line, auditing a paper bill, and the mental tax of logistical coordination. Hotel Yountville has solved this by moving the entire process into the background, allowing the guest to remain in the dream until the very last second. Step by step, the departure begins not at the front desk, but in the suite. At 9 a.m. on his final day, Alex receives a discreet notification on his haptic tablet. It is not a demand to vacate, but a curated departure briefing. This digital document provides a real-time audit of his account, including every glass of Cabernet at the bar and every grapeseed treatment at the spa. Because the hotel utilizes 2026 blockchain ledger technology for its internal accounting, the bill is 100% accurate and transparent. There are no hidden resort fees or mysterious surcharges that lead to the bill shock often seen in lesser luxury properties. By reviewing this in the privacy of his room while sipping his final cup of micromineralized coffee, Alex avoids the social awkwardness and cognitive load of a public transaction. The valet and luggage logistics are the next layer of the forensic audit. Imagine if Alex, instead of hauling bags or calling a bellman, simply taps a button labeled "Ready for Transit." The hotel's internal AI, which has been tracking his scheduled departure to San Francisco International Airport, has already positioned his vehicle. His luggage is whisked away through the service corridors we discussed in the previous part, reappearing in the trunk of his car within minutes. The car itself has been detailed, the interior temperature set to 72 degrees, and a fresh bottle of chilled Napa spring water placed in the cup holder. This is the removal of the physical burden. Case studies of luxury travelers indicate that the physical act of managing luggage is the primary trigger that ends the vacation mindset. By automating this, Hotel Yountville extends the psychological duration of the getaway. As Alex walks through the lobby for the final time, he is met by the concierge, not for a transaction, but for a ritual known as the parting gift of the terroir. In 2026, the hotel has moved away from generic souvenirs. Instead, Alex is presented with a small weight-balanced box containing a 3-ounce vial of the hotel's signature scent, the blend of sandalwood, sage, and dark cherry that has been the olfactory backdrop of his stay. Along with this is a small sachet of the volcanic-rich soil from the Yountville AVA, containing seeds for native California poppies. This is a brilliant move in sensory branding. When Alex returns to the high-rise landscape of Chicago and catches a scent of that sandalwood, his brain will immediately trigger a dopamine release associated with the safety and luxury of the hotel. This is how the property maintains its mental real estate in the guest's mind long after they have left the zip code. The potential outcomes of this departure ritual are profound. For the hotel, it ensures that the final interaction is one of generosity rather than extraction. For Alex, it provides a physical and sensory bridge back to his daily life. But the engagement does not stop at the driveway. The 2026 post-stay digital ecosystem is where Hotel Yountville truly separates itself from the competition. 3 days after his return to Chicago, Alex receives a personalized digital lookbook. This is not a generic newsletter. It is a data-driven recap of his specific journey. It includes the names and vintage years of the wines he enjoyed, the specific tracks from the spa's soundscape that he responded to most positively, and a curated list of recipes from the Heritage Oak Kitchen that utilize ingredients available in the Midwest. This is the transition from a hotel stay to a lifestyle membership. We must also perform a final forensic summary of why this property remains the gold standard for the American luxury getaway in 2026. It is not just the river rock walls or the heavy timber beams. It is the integration of 4 critical pillars. First is the pillar of geographic sovereignty. The hotel's position in the walkable heart of Yountville provides a level of freedom and access that isolated resorts cannot replicate. Second is the pillar of biohacking hospitality. The use of circadian lighting, acoustic engineering, and nutrient-dense gastronomy to provide a measurable physiological benefit to the guest. Third is the pillar of invisible logistics. The use of predictive AI and high staff-to-guest ratios to remove every possible point of friction. And fourth is the pillar of cultural continuity. The way the hotel acts as a steward of the Napa Valley's history and its future. Historical trends show that the luxury market is moving away from the loud, gold-leaf opulence of the early 2000s toward a quiet, data-driven excellence. Hotel Yountville is the blueprint for this shift. It is a property that understands that true luxury is not about what you add, but what you take away. It takes away the noise, it takes away the stress, it takes away the friction, and it takes away the anonymity of the modern travel experience. For a U.S. audience, this represents the ultimate dream. A place where you are seen, where you are cared for, and where you are returned to yourself. Consider the case study of Alex 1 month after his stay. He is in the middle of a high-stakes board meeting in Chicago. The pressure is mounting. He catches a faint scent of sandalwood from the vial he kept on his desk. For a split second, his heart rate slows, his shoulders drop, and he is back on that limestone patio, looking out at the Mayacamas Mountains. The hotel has successfully exported its environment into his reality. This is the ultimate ROI of a luxury getaway. The ability to access that state of peace whenever it is needed most. As we conclude this 10-part deep dive masterclass, the evidence is clear. Hotel Yountville is not just a place to sleep. It is a precision-engineered instrument for human flourishing. From the R value of the insulation to the TDS count of the coffee water, every variable has been optimized to produce a specific, high-value outcome. You have seen the architecture of the escape, the chemistry of the vineyard, and the business of brilliance that keeps the whole machine running. You now possess the framework to evaluate any luxury experience through the lens of a professional analyst. The dream of the California wine country is real, but it is not found in a brochure or a filtered social media post. It is found in the stone, the wood, the soil, and the tireless work of the people who call this valley home. Alex is already looking at his calendar for 2027, not because he needs a vacation, but because he has realized that a stay at Hotel Yountville is a vital investment in his own mental and physical capital. The only question that remains is when you will decide to step inside the river rock walls and experience the masterclass for yourself. The story of Napa is a story of constant evolution, and while this chapter of our deep dive is closing, The valley is already preparing for the next harvest. New vintages are aging in the cellars, new treatments are being developed in the spa, and the next generation of hospitality leaders is being trained in the art of the silent approach. The gates of the estate are always open for those who know how to look past the surface. We have analyzed the bones, the blood, and the soul of this property. Now the experience is yours to claim. Would you like me to begin a new deep dive series on the hidden private estates of the Howell Mountain region? Or should we analyze the emerging luxury wellness retreats of the Pacific Northwest?